Hey, I got that check-in to go. I'm gone. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you the voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie up the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check-in to go. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with the Houston Texans. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points. Points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Here's Watson now on second down. He's got Fuller. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 44 yards. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. Gurley's got the first down and then some. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Todd Gurley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he stopped immediately there. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. He rifles one that's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
After the interception, here's Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll be down deep into Jacksonville territory. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now they'll pitch it back to Gurley. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
This one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
Partner, when you're not able to run the ball successfully, it really messes everything up for an offense because no longer are you setting the tone and dictating the game. If you do want to throw the ball, play action's kind of gone out the window because they don't respect the run. And last but not least, you don't get to dictate it all when you want to throw the football, and that really hurts you as an offense.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
372. Mike 39, Lucy.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He'll check this one off to Fournette. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Fournette, a first down carry. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And incomplete on the deep ball. And this passing game, this whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. And incomplete here on third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
After the run, Watson going to throw. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
Tiger.
On first down, it's Watson. Dancing to his left. Taking a shot for Samuel. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
Green the line.
On the toss, it's Gurley. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out.
Come back.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
And his throw is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Lucy.
From the gun, it's Bortles. And he's got Moncrief. And he's going to get this one all the way up to the 30. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
My 39, Lucy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some space here. And he's brought down after a good gain. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. A throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Jaguars on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Bunch right.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now he's going to, and that's caught inside the 30. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. A big-time play there for the Texans. 41 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Out of the gun, Watson. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Calais Campbell in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now Watson. Throw left side complete. It's Fuller. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. First and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. From the gun, here's Watson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They go play action here on 1st down. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. So 1:55 to go in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. On third down, Fournette. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on fourth down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This will be fielded at the 17. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now the first play in the drive there is incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
372. Green 80. Lucy. Green 80. Green inside.
In his own end zone, it's Bortles. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Throw left, throw left. Green 80. Green 80. Throw left.
From his end zone, it's Bortles on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And it's fielded at the 34. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And here comes the Texans now. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Hey, spread right, spread right, spread right, spread right.
On second down, here's Bortles. Dumps it off to Fournette. Fighting his way through contact. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On second down, here's Fournette. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give them 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this going.
He'll find the rookie from LSU, DJ Shark, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Green 80. Green 80. Omaha.
Now Bortles on the bootleg. No, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Steps away to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there, almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd and 10, Watson looking deep for his tight end Gates. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Taking a shot for Samuel. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Being on the second half, no matter what, with his first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Bortles to throw on second down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. The Jaguars on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is third down and 12. Shotgun now for Bortles. Open man is Westbrook, complete. That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On first down, Bortles. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Open man right side is Shark. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space.
And it's a fumble. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Touchdown, Houston. Todd Gurley with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Green 80. Green 80.
Back now in Jacksonville. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Looking long for Westbrook. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position. Couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Another carry now for Gurley. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Griffin. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A gain of 32 that time. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 31. Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down. On second down, here's Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Faking the give. Now Watson. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 11.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howell. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
On first down, it's Gurley. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Again they run with Gurley. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Come on, boys, come on. Tiger, tiger, tiger. Check, check. Two jet.
Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to turn here. He's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Miles Jack in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now it's Watson. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And out of bounds just shy of the end zone at the 1. And that one results in 35 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Bortles to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Well, you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. Right? This is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
Santos with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Oh, jumping over.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Hey, let's go. Trips left. Trips left. We got 4.
Bortles now on 1st down. That one brought in by his tight end, Adam Shaheen. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
10 yards there, good enough for a Jags 1st down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And now, did he step out of the end zone? Yes, he did. The referee says he stepped out, and that is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over. Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for Houston, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.